Let's just all take a moment before we get into today's video to praise the Blue Lock artist Nomura, because despite it paining him to sit down due to his butt acne, the art he produced this week is nothing less than majestic. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Animasu, and I'm sure as you all saw, I now have a super awesome animated intro for the channel. I commissioned this from a super talented animator and artist named Ben, so please make sure to go support his socials and comment below what you think. Anyways, today we're going to be taking a look at Blue Lock chapter 262 leaks, which show Kaiser looking more desperate than ever. I'm sure you guys know the drill, but if you enjoy the content I push out and would like to support me, please make sure to click that subscribe button, comment below your thoughts, and join my community Discord down in the description. Enough yapping from me, please enjoy another week of Peak Lock. Also, sorry I sound quiet, it's literally 2 in the morning. Today's chapter titled Zero starts off as always with intro text which states, "The field is a back and forth struggle. Isagi, who has taken the lead role, begins to dominate the Emperor Kaiser." The first thing we see here is Kunigami and Shidou both leaping into the air for the ball, as the announcer says things are evenly matched. It really was not though, because with Kuni being a whole 2 feet higher, he managed to header the ball into the possession of his teammate Corona, once again beating Shidou. The next page here just shows Isagi running up the field while activating his metavision, and also glancing over at a still crouched down Kaiser. He's thinking purely about how he can now crush and devour this rival, because with Kaiser already thrown off balance, his team is almost fully under his control. As we get a flashback to the last chapter when Isagi insulted Kaiser by commanding him to kneel, we actually learn a devious detail regarding his plan here. He literally says that if he hurls more abusive insults and words at Kaiser now, he'll fully sink him into an obsessive frenzy, making his movements even easier to read. He believes doing this will give him a 100% chance to win against both PXG and Kaiser, because from there, he can simply just dominate from the back with Corona and Hiyori. It's actually crazy how the last chapter showed us Kaiser taking advantage of someone in despair. However, this chapter, Isagi is exploiting him as he breaks apart. With Kaiser finally leaping back up and looking ahead, Isagi even takes time to look back and taunt him as there's some kind of black hole aura in front of him. He calls Michael a clown while urging him to try his best, because after all, Isagi is now the main character who he must now devour. With the perspective then changing over to Kaiser, who is obviously seething with rage, this man literally compares Isagi to his abusive father. Ain't no way. He immediately compares this feeling to when his father used to hurl insults and abuse him every day, which honestly is some high praise for Isagi's yapping and shit-talking skills. Definitely a new Gen 11 prospect in that regard. Surprisingly though, Kaiser just brushes this all off and sprints towards Isagi with his eyes widened out. He seems to have already surpassed the mental barrier of verbal abuse, however he still admits that his very existence is shaking here. He views winning as do or die here, because all loss will bring is the disappearance of everything he's worked so hard for. Suddenly sprinting in from behind Kaiser, Alexis Ness begins to scream out, begging for him to just calm down. He wants Michael to stop playing so reckless and just work alongside him when the time is right. In his eyes, he's already achieved a good enough results in their previous matches, so he shouldn't stress himself out risking embarrassment and failure. It's pretty wholesome because Ness looks so genuine and cute while saying this all. He truly wants there to be there for his friend. Kaiser, being the literal asshole he is though, gets angry over this. So angry that he even taps into the flow state while calling Ness a mutt. He explains that a loss in this match isn't just that simple, because all their previous results will mean nothing in that case. Not only is the entire world watching this match, but Kaiser also realizes that the team's ace position and his Real Madrid offer can also be taken if Isagi shows out. The community has honestly been speculating about this potential outcome ever since he got that offer, so it's pretty interesting to see him actually talk about it in the game. Kaiser continues to run forward at Isagi with his mind completely clouded with thoughts of failure and fear. He knows that loss here will result in Isagi taking everything from him, which will just leave Michael back to square one, a non-human. It's super sad here because flashes of his father abusing him are popping up in the background, as we see the Emperor looking more desperate than ever. It only gets worse though, because as he leaps in for a slide tackle on his own teammate Isagi, Kaiser is just left sliding on ice, because he managed to easily avoid him with a flick up. Left looking clueless and terrified, Kaiser even begins to wonder if he's now scared, afraid of returning to the worthless state he was in before. While looking up at Isagi, Kaiser seems to have gotten humbled so hard that he's now gotten philosophical. Reminiscing on how he used to harm others to become human, Michael realizes that he's not actually afraid of losing all he's worked for. His status, money, honor, everything is at risk due to Isagi Yoichi, who he challenged in the first place. He even goes on to make more deep realizations about himself, this time being the fact that he only picks on those he thinks he can win against. Instead of fighting to take or achieve something more, He seems to only be doing so to maintain and protect his own position. He can't even notice Ness screaming out for him here, as he's so caught up in his own shortcomings throughout life. He would settle in places where he could easily remain king, all because he wanted to live a life free of risk and injury. Kaiser kinda doubles back a bit though, thinking he has no need to question his existence now. After all, he already fought his way to the top and rightfully earned this position, so why risk shaking his identity with all these thoughts? Then thinking about Isagi and Noa though standing next to a proper throne, Kaiser realizes that he's still yet to achieve the best view in the entire world. The way he's been operating, simply fighting to protect his current glory, will never allow him to progress or even prove his existence further. As he sets his hand on the grass and begins to break apart, symbolizing rebirth and change, Kaiser says that he has no other option than to throw it all to the wind. His glory, his titles, even his pride, everything making Kaiser feel human that he unrightfully earned, he must strip away to truly achieve greatness. Sprinting forward now completely blank, literally just being a shell of the person we saw before, Michael has urged himself and achieved zero. He wants to find out what sensation and type of dignity he truly desires, because although he never wanted this, the egotistical nature of himself and Blue Lock has resulted in this awakening. As Kaiser is finding his true ego and tearing himself apart, we even see a flashback here of the young boy outside of the shop, where he first saw that soccer ball gift he bought. The day he first found his passion, and now today, he's discovering what kind of person he truly wants to become. The last page here shows Kaiser sprinting up the field, fully immersed into flow with an entirely new mindset. Well, sort of, because while screaming out for the ball, this man still goes on to call everyone else shitheads, although Isagi does kinda deserve it. Speaking of which, Yoichi is also at the bottom of this final page, glancing over towards Kaiser with his metavision eyes, so remember to just never count our boy out. The outro text here says, "Everything is with you. The position that has been taken over, the rage to dominate, now begins." With that being the final bit of today's chapter, all that we're left with until next week is chapter 263's title, being Boundary Line. I'm honestly looking forward to a potential Kaiser goal in this next chapter, but to be real with you guys, it could go either way due to him still seeming irrational and emotional in my opinion. I just don't think he can truly change and develop that fast, because literally this is the first time we see him questioning or challenging his normal self and ego. Please go ahead and drop your theories down below to help your boy out. If you all watched through today's video and enjoyed the content, please feel free to support me by clicking that subscribe button, commenting below your thoughts, and also check out my community Discord if you'd like to chat. A few other reminders because you all love me and this community is important, but please go support Ryoka and Hoshi, our community artist, and especially Ben once again for creating my amazing intro. I quite actually made it my wallpaper engine background, and I sit here watching in a loop obsessed. Anyways, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the official scans, where Kaiser is looking absolutely insane and Isagi is dissing everybody.